Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Okay, I got this figured out. There he is. There I
am.
Okay, we got this. They come to me wanting me to kind of support this deal they got going on, and I sent you the information because I kind of trust what you think on this. But anyway,
well, that's a big mistake.
Yeah, I know that's right. But being you the only one I know in the world that's got credit, but they've got workplace housing. They're talking about bringing to Towns County. They've been working on this, and come to me about it and see what I thought. And I every time you think about workplace housing or anything like that, you always think about the projects. I mean, that's the first thing that goes through my mind. But you being an educated guy, what's your take on this? And I'll be honest. Don't sit there but be honest.
You mean I shouldn't waffle like an attorney?
Yeah, don't waffle like an attorney.
Yeah, crawfish on you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, first of all, disclaimer. I live in Fannin County.
Right.
I'm not a Towns resident.
Right.
But I am a lawyer, been a lawyer since 1978, and I did a little reading on what this involves. It looks like there's a company called Affordable Equity Partners, Inc., which is an investing company.
Right.
And then there's a developer out of South Carolina that would build whatever project is involved, and they get federal funding, and they are awarded tax credits. The developer gets the credit, but it's allocated to equity investors. And their own website says that this enables the developer to offer, and I'm quoting, affordable rental rates to working class families and seniors.
But that would be through tax credits, right?
Well, the tax credits apparently allow them to offset other costs.
So basically what you're saying is if I can only afford $600 a month, then the tax credit is going to pay the rest of the rent, right?
Well, I don't know exactly how it operates. I just think that they can offer a lower rental rate because it's offset by the tax credits. And I don't know, to come really to the point of something like this, I guess my natural inclination is just to ask questions. And the number one question would be, what's the need or demand for low-income or affordable housing in Towns County, and especially cluster or multiple unit housing projects, because Towns is a rural community. I know that's what a lot of people like about it here.
Well, that's why a lot of people move,
And whose land are they talking about buying? Who stands to make some money off of this? That would probably be real estate people, brokers, builders. I'm sure that people in local government think that they're going to expand their tax base or have increased revenue, and that may be true. I don't know. Once again, I'm not a Towns resident, and I have not any inside information about what they're going to do. And I'd also want to know who's going to live in the development.
Well, now that's another thing they're trying to say. They're telling me that you have to be approved. You actually have to have a job. You have to be approved to move in this. I don't know what the approval thing is, but it's open to anybody, retirees or not retirees. So
that may be the case. And I do know, and this is a function of the lady to whom I'm married, and she is a former government lawyer with a big metropolitan area county in Georgia.
Right.
If this is federal funding, there's going to be various kinds of clauses or language in any documentation that are going to be required for this funding, and that may or may not have some implication as far as who is going to be allowed or required to be put in this development. I don't know. I'm asking questions.
But I mean, required to live in this. What do you mean? I mean, where are we going with that?
They may have some quotas or some requirements that you have to allow a certain percentage of this category of people to live there. I don't know, but it wouldn't
like
surprise
immigrants
me.
or people from.
I'm not making any allegations. I'm just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's workplace housing, I'd also be interested in knowing which employers, what's the need you do have a wire plant here in the county. Is there anything else, or is this, if you will build it, they will come? Is that the argument? It could be. Once again, right now, Towns is pretty rural. So the main question is, or the two big ones for me are exactly how will Towns County benefit from this? How will the ordinary people of Towns County benefit? Not just the people who are going to sell land or make money off commissions or make money off of tax credits or those things. How will the people of Towns County benefit? And they may very well benefit from this. And secondly, how will this improve the quality of life here? I don't know. And I just think that anytime you're doing something like this, you'd probably want to ask these questions. You might even want to contact some of the other jurisdictions. There are other counties in Georgia where similar projects have been done. So you might want to contact people there to find out about that. You might want to find out what provisions have been made for policing in case there are increased problems with law enforcement. I think your local sheriff's department could probably offer some light on that. So once again, I live elsewhere, but I'm just asking questions.
Well, I understand that. The only thing, they call it, and anytime it's got to do with government grants, feds getting involved, red flags go up with me. And then, we got low income housing. This is not low income housing. This is workplace housing. And okay, my question is, when it comes to that, this is workplace housing. This is not low income. But when you look at it and they're saying, okay, we will base your rent on your income, which is low income housing, the way I look at it. So my question is, what's the difference between a violin and a fiddle? I mean, there's not really any difference between a violin and a fiddle, the way I look at it. But
you're not going to say the joke. You're not going to continue the joke with the difference between a violin and a fiddle.
Go ahead, do it, Packy.
A violin has strings, and a fiddle has strings.
Strings, Straings.
But it's basically...
So, Bill and Cindy actually are commenting on this on our YouTube channel here. It says, a current study is being done with our major employers, which indicate that a good portion of the employees are driving in from as far as Franklin and Ellijay, and there is not available housing.
But what is a major employer? I mean, we don't have any industry in Towns County, per se, other than the wire plant. And... so I don't understand where the major employees at. And then and then this is the thing, you look at the crime, always they can say what they want to, but the rule of thumb or the statistics over the years is these low income housing bring in crime. I mean, to me, it's a no brainer on that. I mean, we all talk about it off the radio and never put it out there on the radio, but it's just kind of the way the rule of thumb goes. And they're saying, well, this is low income housing. I'm with you on that, but it's kind of scary, especially when the feds are involved in it. What kind of regulations have you got on this? Are we going to have to bring in all these people from, that's just come across the border that has no job or all that stuff and say, this is part of it. You got to get these illegal immigrants into these.
I think you'd have to look at the fine print of whatever federal documents are involved with the funding. One thing that my wife is extremely familiar with from her work many years in county government was that anytime you sign any kind of a contract with the feds, there's always the fine print, and they may have some things in there that unless you read it carefully, you're not aware of. And once again, I'm just asking questions because honestly, I don't know.
So here's what came across. Bill and Cindy said, the rent is not based on income. The rent rate is set, and a potential tenant must be able to afford it. It's not based on their income, and they must have a job and be able to afford the rent.
But the problem with that, though, I mean, you got retirees that can live there. They don't have a job. They're on a fixed income, I'm sure, because they'd have to open it up to them. There's no way they could do – that'd be discrimination, would it not be?
Probably.
And if there's discrimination among it, it wipes the whole thing out. So
well, I think the biggest issue is the two questions I asked before. Mm-hmm. How is Towns County going to benefit from this? And will this improve the overall quality of life in Towns County? It certainly, when you've got mostly single-family dwellings in a rural community, something big and multi-unit is it's a change. It's a step in a different direction, and I don't know. And there are certainly people who are very excited because this might mean that they'll do well. But I think people in Towns County just need to look into it and see if it overall will be a benefit.
I don't know. Some of the things that you bug is like the city of Hiawassee. There, you cannot have a RV park. They're not allowed an RV park in the city. I think they banned RV parks. But that would be a low income. That's like my son right now. My boys live in an RV park down in Eastman, Georgia, where they can go to college, and I mean that's the way we can afford to have them to live down there instead of apartments and that kind of stuff. And much rather have them out there. But looks like they could open that up a little bit, because a lot of folks live at these parks year round because they can't afford.
Well, have you seen some of the RV parks these days? There's one down in LIHTC that's pretty swanky.
Yeah.
And especially with some of the money people spend on these RVs.
Yeah. But there's more. I don't know. I'm just anytime the federal government gets involved in anything with all the red tape. And then all the politicians are like, "Whoa, this is the best thing in the world. You need this. You need this." I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I do. I need to see what's going on with this. And I still think this is just a different name for the projects. And then we see how that works. The project. You can see what you want. You see what that works. And they had their guidelines that they went by with that, and it brings crime to the area. I firmly believe that, but I'm just my opinion, and. I don't know. And then they're talking about building these big apartments in our area. And I'm like, this is a rural area. And then workplace housing, where are they going to work? Dollar General. Honestly, is that what they're bringing these folks in here to work at Dollar General? I'm cool with Dollar General. Don't take me wrong, but it's not a career.
Well, I'm not going to go as far as you and say that I think that it's just going to automatically bring in increased crime or anything like that. I'm just more asking the general question about how will the county benefit from this? How will the ordinary citizens in the county benefit from it?
So back to your question about seniors, though, this just came across there. It says 10% is open to, quote, market rent, which would be higher and available to those seniors or others.
Right. I don't know. We need to dig into it, folks. If you're listening out there, y'all need to check into this stuff. That's one of the reasons we brought it up. We're going to talk too much about it today, but Richter come in with a whole load of stuff that's like, I don't know. So,
lawyers.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Hey, listen, you guys.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Oh, well, I brought a banker's box. Okay.
Well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, let me ask you this question, Jim, and be honest.
Are you kidding me?
Would you want this beside?
You're asking a lawyer?
Would you want? What was I thinking? Would you want this beside your place? Would you want this to move in beside your place? Is this something that you think would be?
Well, no, because I live out in the country. My wife and I, we're hiding from the feds.
Yeah,
and everybody else. We're out in the woods somewhere, and most people think they're hearing banjo music when they get out where we live.
I love it. But anyway, I guess we probably need to try to go to a break at this point, Packy, because we're about there on that time. So. All righty, we're rolling back in here this morning. Hope everybody's doing good out there. We got Jim Richter in with us and
nice
Packy.
Fade.
Oh man, I'm
nice
rocking and rolling,
fade,
baby.
Man.
Tell me. The only thing I can't figure out, I think you got these things messed up.
The only thing you can't figure out?
Shut up.
You got to be on switcher.
Oh, I got to be on
switcher to work.
I'm going to switcher. Oh, here we go.
I always knew that Stephen was a switcher.
Oh, easy now. Okay, he's out of here.
Shiny little bald head there, man.
Anyway, we had our bacon guy call in, man. We had the bacon guy call in, and I should have put him on the radio, but he said, we've got all these immigrants coming across the border, and they're looking for a place to put them, and this could be be with the federal government tied in with this. This could actually be a place that they could bus these people right in to your part of the country without anybody even knowing about it, even though they've got this set up for workplace housing. But if it's got the, like I said, in the fine print, who knows? That wouldn't, they could bring them right here in the middle of the night. You'd never know till you wake up next morning, right? Am I telling that right?
Well, the way you'd find out about it is that the Cinco de Mayo celebrations would be a lot better here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They don't even. I don't even think they do. They even celebrate Cinco de
I
Mayo?
don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they even celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That's what they tell me. That's an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a American thing.
Well, so we're guilty of cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
huh?
we're messed up. Hey, reckon, man, the creator of the Star Wars X-Wing and Death Star. Any idea what that is?
Absolutely, yes.
What is
Keep
that?
going.
What is that, Packy? What
Well,
is
the
that?
X-wing is what Luke Skywalker flew. It's a
Right.
type of ship, and then the Death Star is pretty self-explanatory. It's
Hey,
a
I'm gonna be
giant
like
star
The
of
Death
death.
Star. I thought that was your car.
Hey, Packy,
What's up, man?
I'm gonna be your mama. Sit up straight.
Dude, this is your chair, man. Look at this thing.
I have
Could've zoomed in
noticed.
on this. I'm like, leaning
Anyway.
back, man.
He's passed away.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.